and it's not a joke. But he said the 13th Amendment, we need to abolish the 13th Amendment, and he posted a picture of him with his hat on. As people might or might not know, the 13th Amendment abolished slavery. So if you abolish the 13th Amendment, a lot of people could perceive it as you saying Kanye West wants to bring back slavery, and then he's wearing a Make America Great hat. I have to be real. I would think it's a pretty huge and confusing blunder. But what Kanye West actually meant, and I think a lot of people knew because he kind of wrote it, he's like, we gotta help people in the prisons. The 13th Amendment also states that if you're in prison, you can basically still be a slave and do slave labor. So what he was trying to say was we need to change the 13th Amendment, amend the 13th Amendment, or alter it so that, prisoners are not slaves and legally allowed to work slave labor. But he didn't say that. He said, I want to abolish the 13th Amendment. So, of course, Chris Evans and the liberal stars came out, but to be honest with this one, I understand why. It's definitely a misstep. So on that note, before I move on to the next topic, I just want to say I like what Kanye's doing. It's very, very important that he switches it up. He's really going to run for president. Like, people think he's joking. I talk to so many people and say he's not going to win. This is what they said about Trump. The difference is, in my personal perspective, I'm a huge fan of Trump and Kanye. I think they're really doing great things for this country and breaking the echo chamber, allowing people to think critically, even if they disagree, and bringing up important discussions and protecting good people. But the big difference I really personally think is I like what Trump's doing. I trust him. I really think he's got a grip on like foreign policy, domestic policy, taxes, trade deals, how to be crazy, but also be very reserved and dialed back. I love Trump for that. And Kanye is so brilliant, so smart, and so important. But with missteps like this, I'm just going to be real, and a lot of stuff that he does, I really, really like him. I just don't know that he would really be the most steady, sturdy president. It's kind of interesting, for lack of a better word, that he really could win the presidency, and him in office is not the same as Trump. I mean, he's way more emotional. He's like way more loose with it because he's he's a musician now. But, I love Kanye, and, if he really does run, hopefully he has a good team around him and, does a good job. But I think that's a very big reality that will happen, that he'll run for president. And on that note, I want to say I met Kanye, or I saw Kanye a week ago. I just want to do a funny story before I move on. I was at an award show. It was actually for Pornhub. I got invited with a media pass, and a lot of people I know are conservative or Republicans. They judge me. Anomaly, why are you at the porn awards? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not going to turn it down when I have a media pass and I'm there like with a VIP pass interviewing people. I had a great time. I was like asking them if they like Trump or Obama better. It's pretty funny. But I saw Kanye was on stage. He was like running the whole show and just like organizing everything. It was hilarious. And Kanye like looked at me. I was by the stage. And he like pointed at me, and I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, Kanye knows who I am. And he looks at me and points and is like, hey, man, could you get off the side of the stage, like get out of the shot? I was like, man, I thought Kanye, I thought he recognized me or something from the videos. I was like, man, Kanye, and he's like, bro, get out of the side of the shot. He was nice about it, but it was like a funny moment of like, oh, man, back to the drawing board. That was just a funny side story, but much love to Kanye West. Thank you so much for breaking the echo chamber. And, just everyone else, don't jump so hard on him. Correct him, show him love and make sure he doesn't say he wants to abolish slavery. That's not right. But at the same time, don't like destroy everything he says, because it's like 80 to 90% of what he's saying is spot on. And then he slips up one time. But that's not what the story's about. So thank you, Kanye, for standing up for all Americans. And just to wrap it up too, Kanye's strategy is way more successful than what haters do. Haters won't get through to Trump. Haters won't have influence on policy. It's Kanye West and Kim Kardashian who are going to be able to change the prison system. What rappers talk about all the time, they don't actually change it because they just, F the police, like let's sell drugs to the kids and let's, kill each other. It's like, yeah, it might bump hard and we might listen to it, but you're not really helping anybody. You're actually just as bad, if not worse, than the politicians. You sound like the pharmacy industry. You sound like the military-industrial complex. and you sound like the Democratic Party trying to, ruin people's lives. So it's like a lot of rappers don't do anything. Kanye, by being nice, now he gets meetings with Trump. Now his wife is getting people out of jail. Now he's going to try to convince Kaepernick to actually do something. So this is just a statement. It's the same with me. Liberals probably don't like me in some elements. I think a lot do though. Might be, Anomaly's so bad. But guess what? I could probably get a meeting with somebody I know I could get a meeting with someone very close to Trump at any time, because I know a lot of people that are very close to Trump watch my videos and message me all the time. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying, but if I could get into these situations, I can tell them, hey, what do you think about the environment? What do you think about the prison system? What do you think about this for Americans? What do you think about water purifiers and air purifiers and cleaning up the streets? I can have a bigger effect than you hating from the sidelines, screaming and crying. No one wants to listen to you. But if you're a good liberal and a good environmentalist and people don't hate you, they actually like you, then you can actually be effective. So Kanye West is showing us every day, leading with love will actually help the black community more than all these nasty, hateful people who, complain about Trump all the time, but they're having such a negative effect on the black community and everyone. And I've seen it firsthand from people in, communities that reach out to me. I see what they're listening to. I see how they act. And it's largely influential because of the music. So, I'm not blaming anyone particularly, but I'm very happy that Kanye West, although having fun saying what he wants, when push comes to shove, he gets in there and really does something good for his people, the country, and the world. It's dope overall. The last